All right, and we're live. So, chapter 5 of Enter the Void. Again, we have Cameron. Say hi.
Hi.
And I'm Riley. Hi. Um, so, is there anything you want to tell the audience before we begin today?
Uh, no, I think we should just jump right into it.
All right. Could you give us a recap of the last session?
Yeah. It was my introduction into the second year of the school, magic school that is, and um, I went partying and stuff, and met a new group of upperclassmen, people that I'm trying to become friends with, even though I'm only a second year. And I got drunk and stuff, and I ran into that girl that from the first day when I got pranked, and so now I'm trying to, um, you know, make myself actually a part of the upperclassmen's group, and also start a relationship with that girl. And I've decided to bring the Defenders of the Peace to a spring break party on a lake to see what happens. So
Got it. So,
yeah,
let us continue. Are you ready to
let
start?
us. I am ready.
Okay. Okay. So, like Cameron just said, that is where we left off. And I believe today is the day where you guys were going to head to the boat. Would you like to do
It
so?
is. Yes, I would.
Okay. So, as you head over there, you meet up with the defenders of the peace, and you see that Sir Gat has a little bit of pocket change here and there, a couple silver to try to get himself in. And you see that Sun has brought a ball with him, like you would see in Kick the Bug Goblin, and River hasn't brought anything. And did you bring anything?
I brought the Defenders of the Peace.
Yes, yes, you did. So you head over to the boat, and as you get over there, you see a bunch of people hauling what seems to be crates on top of the boat, and you see a couple familiar faces waiting for you. Over on the dock where the ladder is to get on it, a similar face that invited you to the party looks over at all of you and says, "All right, why are you guys here?"
Well, you said to bring something to, liven up the party, and I thought, what better than the Defenders of the Peace?
He looks over for a moment and says, "Well, I don't know any of you, but you know what? Since you brought a girl, I guess that's fine." And he says, two of you, one of you can go with the girl."
Well, um, hmm. Well, I mean, they also brought things of their own, so I mean, I guess if does their stuff check out?
He looks down and sees the ball and the chump change for a moment and says, "Yeah, that's not going to cut it."
Okay. Um, Give me a second, and I'm gonna bring all of them aside and be like, so what's the plan here?
Sergat says, "Oh well, I guess we can't go." Well, meanwhile, Sun says, "Well, maybe there's something else we could give them. I don't know. What do you have?"
Maybe I don't. I mean, we only need to convince them of one more person. I don't think Sir gets that excited to be here anyway. But if we can get two more things, that'd be great. I really don't have anything. Um, but
Hmm. Okay.
hmm,
And as you guys are discussing that, eventually you see a familiar face walk up behind you. It seems to be Grass. And he puts out his hand and says, "Nice to see you again."
me or the people.
You.
Oh yeah. I'll shake it and be like, nice to see you too. Glad you could make it. Uh, Please tell me you brought something really great. They're not gonna let all of us in if we don't have more stuff.
He looks over at you and says, "What do you mean?"
There's kind of a price to admission here, and it's just something that might make the party fun. Uh, One of us can get in because River's here, and a girl counts as a thing, which is I don't stand for that, by the way. Anyway, we need 3 more things. So,
I
you know,
guess
what?
they do that for some people. Here, let me go talk to them. And he walks up to them and points out all three of you and says, whispers something to them for a moment. And one of the guys walks up to you guys and says, "Looks like you're all free to go."
Y- Thank you. I knew I could get us in.
River walks over to you guys and says, "Well, do you guys want to get on the boat?"
Of course, that's why we're here.
All right. As you guys head up, you see a lot of familiar faces, mainly upperclassmen from the Suropath, and you also see a lot of the younger lichen tooths around that seem to be Grass's friends. You look around and you see that you aren't really familiar with a lot of the lichen tooths, but anyways, they all seem to be having fun, and they all seem to be sort of talking with one another on the ship deck. And Grass looks over at you and says, "So, I didn't get to see you that much this year. Where you been?"
You know, around dealing with school stuff, I guess.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've been with Sun a lot on the field, so as you probably remember, we're on the same ward, so I get to see him a lot. It's been kind of lonely, actually, not seeing all you guys.
Yeah. You know, yeah, same here. I wish I could hang out with you guys more.
Yeah. He says, "You know what? I mean, I think Lycantooth fits you a lot better than Seropath. I mean, I don't know what Caleb told you, but you should have gone to Lycantooth, to be honest."
What makes you say that?
Well, I mean, you're all about family and keeping it close together, right? And he grabs Sun on the shoulder and says, "That's what Lycantooth's all about."
Oh, I guess. I mean, can't change now. But
Yeah, that's a shame.
anyway, we should probably look around, see what we can do.
All right.
Um,
So as you guys get up there, um, you all sort of split up. Grass and Sun head with you. Sergat kind of stays in the corner, and River rushed off into the crowd, not to be seen again for a while. You see that the ship is finally sailing off, and this is your first day on the boat. You all seem to be drinking and having a good time with the people. Is there anything you want to specifically do?
Obviously, I'm gonna look out for Cat and maybe the guy that I keep calling Bilbo.
Okay. As you look around, you can't really find Cat anywhere, but you do find Bilbo.
Okay, I'm gonna approach him.
All right. As soon as you do, he looks over at you and says, "Oh man, look at this guy. He's little man. He's with us in Suropath." And a couple of guys look over confused for a moment and says, "Don't worry, he's cool."
What's up, Bilbo? Give me 5.
All right. He high fives you.
So, what's going on over here?
He just tells you that we're all playing a card game. If you want to join in, you can.
All right, I guess I could play a hand. I will warn you though. Back at my little village, they used to call me Card Man because I was really good at cards.
Well, I mean, I doubt you've ever played this game before. And they sit you down, and they seem to have a custom deck of cards. It's similar to the one that you would normally see, but this one seems to be customized with different symbols. He tells you that the game was created long ago by a Suropath leader, one of the head folks that wanted to make a game for all the Suropaths to play. And it's like a gambling game where you have to match certain cards up with the ones in the river. And also, you have to avoid the assassin. There are, it's called, it's just plainly called wizardry. And there are 3 wizards and 1 secret assassin. You don't know who it is, but the goal is to get as many matching cards as possible before the assassin eliminates everyone.
Oh, okay. Is there like you said it was a betting thing. Do I need money to play it?
Yeah, you do.
Hmm. Can I borrow some money.
From who?
Whoever would be willing to give it to me.
So you just want to ask around for money?
Sure.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Right, I've got to sales pitch this. Okay. 18.
Okay. So you just asking with specifically or just everyone around?
Everyone around.
Okay. Well, since you're someone they barely know and you're asking for money, they all tell you flat out no.
Hey, what about Bilbo? What would Bilbo say?
Bilbo looks down at you and says, I gotta play my own hand. Since he's already on the table, putting money down. If you want to ask Sergat, he will give you what he has, which isn't much.
How much does he have?
He has 5 silver.
Okay. I'm gonna ask him for 2 silver. I don't want to take all the stuff.
Okay, so you now have 2 silver.
All right. I'm gonna go place 1 silver on the table.
As you do that, they all kind of laugh at you around the table and says, "That's it?"
This 1 silver will be 30 gold by the time this party's over.
We'll see about that. And they teach you how to play. Roll a since it is kind of a social game, roll a performance check.
Okie.
Sorry, what?
I said okie dokie, and that would be a 17.
Okay. So you win the first game. Since you only put down a silver, you only get 2 silver in return.
Right, but hey, we just doubled. Right, so put another piece of silver down.
All right.
I don't
Make
wanna get
a
all of it again.
make a performance check.
Performance. All right, that would be a nat 20.
Wow. Okay.
I like
So
this new website.
yeah. You win the second game. You were quickly found out to be the assassin, but with your tricky plays, you have officially eliminated everyone. So your money doubles again.
Sweet.
You now have a total of 4 silver.
Okie dokie. Let's put down 2 of it. Be a little bit more risky.
Okay. Roll a performance check.
That's a 3.
Oof. Yeah, you did not win that one. You have 3
Alright.
silver now.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna put down all my money, and then try to get everyone else to do the same.
Okay. They make a persuasion check first.
17.
Okay. So with that, everyone looks over at you and sort of laughs and says, "Well, we have a lot more money than just 3 silver on the line here."
Yeah, but I don't. If you win, you get all 3 silver, and everything else everyone else has. And by not doing this, you're basically saying you're not confident in your ability to win.
Some of them look over at you and say, let's make it interesting. If the wizards win, then we all double our money. The assassin wins, then they get to quadruple their money, and the wizards get nothing.
All right, sure.
All right. So, do you accept?
Yes.
Okay. Roll a dice. 1 through 10, you're the assassin. The rest is your wizard.
All right. It's a 3.
Okay, so you're the assassin. So make a performance check.
Performance check. 13.
Okay. You barely win this one, and you just slide by, and your money quadruples.
Oh, I'm at 12 now, which is a gold and 2.
Yes. All right. So, would you like to do this for the rest of the day?
How many days is this total?
It's gonna be about 3 days on sea. This is just
Then
the first day.
Sure. Whole
Okay.
first day will be for this.
All right. So roll 3 performance checks.
All right. 12.
Okay.
Nat 20 again.
Wow.
13.
Okay. So you win majority of the games that you play, and How much gold did you have?
1.2.
Okay, so it take that times 5.
Okie dokie. It should be like 6 or something, but I'm just gonna double check. Yep, that's 6.
All right. And as you guys are playing, more and more people gather around and see your skills, and they tell you you're really having a knack for it. Even Sergat comes over and says how good you are at the game.
Couldn't have done it without you, buddy. Uh, I pointed to him when I said that because he gave me the 2 silver at the start. So yeah.
All right. So with that, that is the night. You can sleep on the ship deck if you'd like. That's where a majority of people are sleeping.
Sure.
All right. So the next day comes up, and people start playing and boozing again. Is there anything you want to do in particular on this day?
I'm gonna today I just want to generally like just hang out with people,
Okay.
but just like before, I want to look specifically for Kat, and if I can't find her, I want to go hang out with some of the people that I brought.
Okay. Sounds good. Are you mainly hanging out with people on the ship deck? That is like the majority of people, or are you gonna go back to the cockpit where, or the, do they call it a cockpit? The area where you steer the ship?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever that's called. There are a couple people in there that are just having a small conversation, or there's a below deck where not many people are.
Well, knowing Kat, she's probably gonna be in the below deck because she was in the closet at the party, so we can
Okay.
check there, I guess.
All right. So, as you go down there, you see that there are a couple of people talking around here. A couple of people of note is, let me see. You see Sergat is down here, and you also see that that is the only person you recognize down here. Sergat seems to be reading a book down there.
All right, I'm gonna go talk to him.
Okay, so as you approach, he looks over at you and says, "Man, I actually found a couple books down here. There's a shelf lining with them. They seem to be actually like kind of interesting. I've not seen anything like this in the library before."
Classic Sergat, always finding a way to learn. Um, by the way, thank you for those coins earlier. Have a gold.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have got this without your help. So
He says, "Thank you."
I says you're welcome. And um, I'm gonna say, have you seen River around recently?
He looks over at you and says, "Last I saw River, she came down here, but I followed her to try to talk to her about the books I found, and I couldn't find her. I mean, there are a couple doors here and there, but some of them seem to be locked."
I see. Well, this is gonna be the last time I bring it up. But have you given any more thought to what I said before we got on the boat?
He looks down for a moment and says, "You know, you might be right. I mean, I don't know if that's what I want, but I don't want to look back and say I missed an opportunity. So, if the opportunity arises, I might."
All right, just let me know how it goes. You know, I'm rooting for you, pal. Then I pat him on the head,
Okay.
and then I'll probably just go back out to the main area and talk to people, I guess.
Okay, just in the main area?
Yeah.
Okay, so the people out here seem to be Bilbo. There is Sun and Grass, and that's about it. For the people you recognize, anyways.
I'm gonna talk to Sungrass first. See how they're doing.
Okay, they seem to be passing the ball around, just playing catch with each other, and they're on the bow of the ship, and they all seem to be having a good time.
Hey guys, what's up?
They all look over at you, and one of them asks if you'd like to join in.
No, I think I'm good. I'm just seeing how everybody's doing. this cool, awesome party that I invited you to. You're welcome.
They sort of laugh. So do you join in or no?
No, I'm not gonna.
Okay. So what do you do?
Before I talk to Bilbo, I do want to look, see who it is in the place we didn't know the name of. The
Oh yeah. You can go over
steering
there.
room.
As you go over there, there is someone that you do recognize, and it is Prince. They seem
I
to
guess
be
I'll
having
just.
just a small conversation.
I guess I'll go approach him.
Okay, as you do, Prince looks over at you and says, "Oh, I didn't know they let lowerclassmen in here."
They don't, but I'm a cool kid.
Make a persuasion check.
That's just the honest truth, my man's. And that is a 8.
All right. He looks over at you and says, "Well, who invited you? Just curious."
I mean, I just talked to. I just sit at that table. I think maybe it was. Then I remember I don't know Bilbo's real name. I don't know. It's just one of the upperclassmen. Um, but yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. We were just talking. We're not sure whose boat this is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, everyone was invited by someone, but none of them seem to know whose party this is.
that's a little suspicious, but I mean, we're all like we'll be fine. If anything crazy happens, we'll just use our epic magic powers.
Sure. And he looks down for a moment and starts talking to his group again. Do you wish to join in or no?
Uh, so I've checked everywhere, and Cat's just not here.
You don't see her anywhere, no.
All right. I guess I'll see what they're talking about.
All right. So as you join in, you see that most of them seem to be talking about what they found downstairs. They seem to be almost like stolen books from the library in the second level, only accessible by upperclassmen and teachers. They say that whoever's boat this is must go to the school or work there.
Uh, hmm. Interesting. Well, I don't have much to say here, so I'll probably just go talk to Bilbo up back in the main area.
Okay. As you head back over there, he seems to be in a hushed conversation with a couple other people. Do you wish to join in?
Yeah.
All right. They're sitting around the same table you guys were playing cards at, but the cards are now put away. And as soon as Bilbo sees you, he says, "Oh, have a seat. We're actually just talking about you."
Oh, what's up?
He looks over at you and says, "So, word's gotten around that you got in a little tussle your first year. Isn't that right?"
I mean, tussle's one word for it. Maybe epic battle for the piece of the land is probably more accurate to what it was, but
Um, make a persuasion check.
again,
8?
yeah.
Okay. A couple of people give a little laugh here and there, but not very much. They all look at you and say, "So, who was the fight with?"
It was with Lucius. Yeah. I don't know. He was just messing with people. I stepped in to intervene.
A couple of them look confused and they say they've never heard of Aloysius before.
Yeah, well, the fight might have something to do with that. He got expelled pretty much immediately after.
They ask you, "Did he come back?"
Yeah, he should be. He said I heard that he was here this year, but he's in. Wait, he's in Serapath, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's back this year.
A couple of them ask what ward he's in.
I think Serapath.
They look confused again and say, "Well, I mean, if you're in Seropath and he is, you've never talked to him before or seen him?"
I mean, not since the fight.
That's interesting.
I mean, he did like really try to like hurt me a lot and stuff, and knocked out one of my friends. I'm not exactly in a rush to meet him again.
That's true. But we also heard that the kid over there was involved too, and they point over at Sun.
Yeah, he's actually why I got involved. He like straight up got knocked out and stuff.
Uh,
But
they look over and say, "So you beat up all the other guys to save your friend?"
no, I mean it was more of a team effort, right? Like the other kid, and I point to Grass, who's probably next to Sun, hopefully, and I said he was there too. He actually did a lot of the work, got himself expelled too. But yeah, I mean it was mostly to save him, but it was also to protect the peace at large.
A couple of them look down and say, "That's interesting." So, do you think the fact that Lucius hasn't shown his face around is a little suspicious?
I mean, suspicious maybe. I'd call it more. He's scared, probably. Uh, he definitely, it didn't end well for him. So I don't know if he'd want to start things up again. Would you?
Uh, Bilbo looks over and says, "Well, I mean, I just keep your eye out, especially since he's in the same ward as you."
Yeah, sure. I guess.
And as you say that, you see a familiar face. It seems to be River rushing over to you, and she says, "Oh, Void, I gotta talk to you. Can we go over here?"
Sure. See you later, fellas. And I give the finger guns, my classic finger guns, and I
Uh,
walk over to where
Bilbo
she takes me.
laughs and says, "Well, I mean, is this your girlfriend or something?"
She is a girl that is my friend. So yes and no, I guess. There's a space in between.
Sure. He says, "Go have fun."
All right. So then I'll follow her.
All right. So, you see, as you go back over, you see Bilbo and his friends start laughing with each other and start whispering to some other people. Um, so, as River brings you over, she looks at you and says, she asks you, "Have you been downstairs yet?"
With all the books?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually found Magnus down there. He was in one of
Oh,
the
really?
rooms.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
he
guess.
was by himself. So it was just a little odd. I was just exploring around, and he got mad when I saw him, but uh, it was hard to explain. But I should say, Magnus is. He's a. I think he's trying to collect information here. I don't think he's actually here for the party.
I mean, like, what kind of information?
I'm not sure. He wouldn't tell me. But apparently, there are a lot of secret books here on the boat. Whoever owns this boat must be high ranking.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've heard, but uh, it. I mean, I don't know. That's probably how you get to a position to even have a boat like this in the first place. So it doesn't really surprise me.
She looks down again and says, "I've been talking to Sergat and Magnus. Uh, they are kind of talking about maybe making, like, I don't know, trying to see if we could go to the second level, you know?"
How come?
Well, because, I mean, that would give us a lot of information that we don't already have.
I I guess, but I mean,
And
like,
plus, why would they hide information from the younger students? Isn't
I
that the
don't
whole
know.
point of a library, is we can, like, read whatever we want?
I mean, I guess, but I mean, do you know like what happens if you get caught up there? Is it really worth just not waiting it out?
We hear from Magnus the punishment's very, very harsh, but either way, we think it might be worth it just to maybe find a way to the third level.
I mean, uh, if you think that's a good idea, I mean, I'm not gonna try to stop you. I might even try to help you, maybe, but I mean, you might want to give it some consideration before you do. I mean, it's not like it's never available to us, right?
I mean, the third level's never available to us, if that is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, true, but I mean, I guess I don't really have anything to say to that. I mean, are you really? I mean, we could try to get in there if you want.
I mean, I was just gonna let you know. I mean, I know I can trust you and Sun, so I was gonna tell you two before we did anything. So if something did happen, you would know what's going on.
Right. So I mean, I'll help any way I can. You know, if you want me to come along, sure. If you want me to stay back, sure. Um, yeah, sounds like a cool adventure.
All right, and with that, uh, Sergat comes back upstairs with a couple books, and he joins you guys. And at this point, someone gets on top of the table you were playing cards at. It seems to be, uh, it seems to be Bilbo, and he is making an announcement. Everyone quiets down for it, and he says, "Well, so we're halfway through our trip here, and I think I might as well spice it up a little bit. Get everyone from lower deck up here." And then a couple of people rush downstairs and grab some people from the lower deck and bring them upstairs. He says, "We're gonna play a little game, and this is tradition for boat rides." He says, "We're going to pair up our couples for the ride." And he points over to all the females on the boat and tell them to get to the other side of the boat. Meanwhile, the males go on the other side of the boat.
Right. I'll play along.
Okay. River tries to sneak back downstairs, but a couple of guys stop her, and they lead her over to the side with all the females. All right, so with that, we have Bilbo sitting on the table once more, and he says, "Well, there have been rumors going around about certain people, and I'd like to point them out." And he brings out a girl that was standing over there, and a couple guys from the other side, and they say, "So, you guys have been together since first years, huh?" And a couple of them shake their heads, and he says, "Well, it's time to decide. Which one of you wants to be with the girl?" And they sort of look at each other kind of confused for a moment, and he says, "To make the game a little more interesting, let's just say if you don't choose, all of you get kicked off the boat and get sent back to the shore." And with that, a couple of the guys start arguing with each other, like about what to do. Meanwhile, the girl is just kind of sitting there looking annoyed. And with that, eventually, after a couple minutes, it's resolved, and they all say they're not going to play along with the games. And with that, Bilbo says that's such a shame, and he snaps his fingers. And with that, Prince runs over and, with a couple of his guys, along with Grass. And they grab the two guys and the girl, and they bring them over to one of the lifeboats and sits them down. And they look very annoyed, like this is happening. And they say, "It's too late. You've made your choice." And they sit down on the lifeboat. So with that, it happens a couple more times. And eventually, there are only a couple people left. Mainly people after that incident decided to play along. But were a couple of people who decided not to and are sent to the lifeboat. Finally, the only person standing left is River. And Bilbo looks back over at you and winks. And he says, I got one last person to talk about today." And he brings out River. A couple of people shove her into the middle. And he says, "So, the little dudes, the second years, have decided to come onto our party. But I don't think they really know what's going on here. Do you?" And River looks over at him and says, "I don't really care. I just want to go back downstairs. Let me through." And they sort of form a wall to not let her through. And Bilbo points out that it seems like she already has a boyfriend. And he says, "Void, you want to step out?"
I mean, no. Then I step out.
A couple of people start cheering, and River looks over at you and asks what's going on.
I mean, haven't you been paying attention? I think they're trying to pair us up.
She looks over at you and says, "Whatever. I just really need to stay on the boat, okay?"
Okay.
I have unfinished business downstairs, she whispers to you. And he looks over at the crowd and says, anyone wanting to step up and challenge this? And everyone sort of just slinks back and lets it play
Look
out.
at Surgat. I'm gonna look at Surgat really intensely and be like not saying anything, but trying to motion with my face, like, bro, get up here.
Sergat looks very nervous, and he's looking at you and River, very confused on what's going on. And Bilbo says once more, well, if there's no one that wants to step up, then show us how much you love each other. Show us. And he makes smoochy lips, and everyone starts going wild on the crowd.
Okay, just to make sure before I say what I'm about to say, Bilbo's not a tabaxi, right?
Bilbo is not a tabaxi.
All right. Before we do anything, I'm gonna say, actually, wait. With my special cat ears, with my special tabaxi ears, I think I heard someone wanting to come up, but they're on like this side of the crowd, and I like motion over to where Sergat is.
Bilbo hushes down the crowd for a moment, and he looks over at the crowd and starts scanning the audience, and he says, oh, I think I do hear something. And he steps down off the table and says, anyone want to come up? And you look over at Sergat very intensely, and he slowly starts raising his hand. And you hear a voice from the crowd. It is Sun. Sun steps up and says, let's make this interesting. I've always been interested in River. And he gives you a wink.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, maybe that would be interesting, but I don't think that's who I heard, son. I don't think you are who I heard.
Bilbo hushes you for a moment and says, no, I like this. I like this. Best friends pitted against each other for the woman. And
We also have another best friend that they might want to come up here as well.
Bilbo says, that's too late. Whoever it is, they took their chance. And he grabs Sun and you and pulls you over to the middle, and everyone in the crowd is going wild. He looks at both of you and says, so, you guys, obviously we can't do a fight to the death, but we can do the next best thing. And he brings out drinks for both of you, and he says, drinking contest. And everyone starts whooping and hollering, and River rolls her eyes. Could you give me a second? I think the music stopped.
Yeah.
Sorry, give me a second. Doesn't seem to want to be playing. Oh well. Are you fine with no music for this little thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, well, let me just make sure. It's weird. Sorry, could you guys give us 1 second? We will be right back. We are having some technical difficulties. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, they want you guys to do a drinking contest, and Sun happily agrees. Do you agree?
Is it just whoever wins, or does the loser have to leave too?
No, the loser gets to stay.
All right. Um, did you see that Davis asked if he could join?
Uh, oh, I didn't see that. Tell him it's a little too late.
Just,
Sorry, what's up?
all right. Okay, so for the sake of Sergat, I'm definitely gonna play along and try to win, because if Sun wins, he is not gonna he's gonna go for it. So I gotta make sure that no irreversible damage occurs. So let's participate.
All right, so with that, he brings out some drinks. So, okay, he tells you that you have to finish, whoever finishes more at the end, gets to win and has the girl.
Let's do this.
All right, so, with this, make a Constitution saving throw for the first couple drinks.
Oh, I guess I already lost. It's a 5.
Oof. Yeah, you're feeling the effects pretty hard for the first couple of drinks. And let's see how how Sun is doing. Oh, he's doing fine. He's chugging along. Make another Constitution saving throw.
All right. And it's a 3.
Oof.
Wow.
You're really feeling it. You seem to be a little tipsy. And Sun seems to be losing a little bit of steam, but is still going pretty strong. Make another Constitution save.
Okay, let's save this. Let's get a 20. That would be another 5.
Oof. Yeah, you are completely drunk at this point. And Sun, on the other hand, oh my gosh. Yeah, he's losing most of his steam. He's a little tipsy right now. Make another Constitution saving throw.
I don't know how I can recover. Especially since I just got another 3.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, you're barely hanging on. You are like in and out right now. And Sun is also doing really poorly. He was pretty good going in, but now he's not doing very well at all. He's very drunk. Not like in and out like you, but he's very drunk. And making another Constitution save.
Let's save 19.
Oh my gosh! Wow. All right, let's see how Sun's doing. Okay, yeah. He he is like very, very gone at this point, and you seem to hold it just a little bit at the very end. So whoever gets a higher Constitution saving throw is gonna win. So give me it.
Do one more.
Yep, do one more.
15.
All right, he got a 10. So Sun eventually falls to the ground, passed out, and you are barely on your feet. And all this time, River has just been sitting in the corner, kind of annoyed, reading some of the books. And Bilbo comes down and says, "Looks like we have a winner. You get to keep your girlfriend one more day here, but I'd look out for this Sun. I think he's got the hots for her still." And Sun raises his arm and says, and River at this point is starting to head downstairs, and Bilbo stops her for one more moment and says, "Just one more thing before you go. Won't you guys give us a kiss?" And everyone in the crowd starts going wild. And River at this point is looking very, very mad. And she runs over to you and grabs you and gives you a very big kiss. And as soon as she does, she says, "I'm never doing that again." And she starts walking back downstairs, and everyone starts clapping.
I'm gonna say,
Cool. And with that, everyone on the lifeboats gets sent back. They all get raised down to the water, and they're rowing back to shore.
Right. Um, how long am I gonna be like this?
For the rest of the day.
Sweet. Okay, I'm guessing Sun's just gonna be passed out the rest of the day.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, I'm gonna. Okay, I guess I'll go over to Bilbo.
All right. So as you do, he seems to be laughing with his friends over at the table.
Uh, cool game, Bilbo, my man.
Bilbo looks over at you and says, "Well, we couldn't let you just have a good time without getting with the girl, right?"
She's not my girl, man.
Whatever. Well, everyone here is gonna think that now, so I don't know how you're gonna explain that to Kat.
Is she even here?
No, but I mean, I'm sure people are gonna talk about it because this is like
Well,
literally the best thing that's happened all trip.
considering she barely knows who I am anymore, that won't be a problem for long. Worst case scenario, we have to fake a breakup, okay? She's not my girl.
A couple of them laugh at you and say, "Sure, whatever." And with that, make make a wisdom saving throw.
15.
15. All right. So as you are in and out of consciousness, the rest of the day is a blur to you. You do some things, you don't do some things. A lot of it you don't remember by the morning, and you wake up with a giant headache. Not really sure what you did for the rest of the day.
All right. Okay, I gotta go to a trusted source for this. So before I do anything else, I'm gonna go up to Bilbo and ask him what I did.
All right. Bilbo looks over at you and he says, "Well, you were looking around for something. You couldn't really find it though. I have no idea what. You were probably looking for your girlfriend."
Who? No. No. Whatever. No, I wasn't. Anyway, see ya. I'm gonna go talk to Sergat immediately.
Okay. So where are you gonna go look for him?
Just everywhere that I can.
All right. So with that, you look everywhere you can. Make a perception check.
Not 20.
Yeah, you can't find him.
Oh, so he left. Got it. Um, okay, I guess I'm going to see what Sun's doing.
All right. Sun seems to be over in the corner drinking some water and looking very sick.
How you doing, man?
Sun looks over at you and says, "Hey, you put up a good fight. Here, come over here. I gotta tell you something."
Okay.
He gives you a wink and says, "I really don't like River. I know you had somewhat of a thing for her, but I just wanted to make it interesting for you. Just kind of give her a show, you know?"
No, it was fun, but no, I don't have anything for River.
Wait, really?
No, really, I don't.
Then why were they saying you were, like, together with her?
Because she's the only underclassman girl here, and I'm the only underclassman guy that they know.
True, true. I guess I didn't think about that. Well, either way, it was pretty fun. I'm sure she'll get over it.
Yeah, although I kind of wish you didn't come up, because there's someone else here that I kind of was trying to give the opportunity to.
Oh, who?
Are you a gossiper, my friend?
That's dependent on you. What do you think I am?
I haven't hung out with you that much this year. I don't know who you talk to and what you say.
Well, I mean, I
But
just mainly hang out with Grass and his friends.
all right, well, I don't want to go spreading things. So just know you weren't. Neither of us were supposed to be up there kissing River.
Hmm,
I'm gonna
I see.
go see if I can find River.
All right, so with that, you go try to find River, and where do you check?
Probably downstairs with the books.
Okay. Do you go into like all the rooms that are unlocked?
Sure.
Okay. So, you go inside every room that seems to be unlocked, and you don't see her in any of the studies. But there are two rooms that are locked.
I'll knock on them.
Okay. Um, you knock on both, and you don't hear an answer from either.
Is there like a peephole or anything?
Not that you can see. Seem to be iron doors.
All right. Well, that's intriguing. I kind of want to know, is there anything I can do to try to open those doors?
You see that both of them are locked. So, I mean, if you had lockpicks, you could try.
I do not.
Or you could try busting down the door or whatever. You could say something.
Uh, I'll be like, anybody in there?
From one of the doors, you hear a older young man voice and says, "Don't bother me."
Hello?
He says, "Go away."
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Just leave.
Are you in danger?
You don't hear a response.
Uh, I'm supposed to be defending the peace, so if you need defending, I'll be on the boat.
He quickly opens the door, and on the other side, what you can see is a man with long black hair. It seems to be a young man, and he has sort of pale-looking skin. And he looks over with you with stern eyes, and he asks you, "Is your name Void?"
Put on my tough guy voice and go, who's asking?
Is your name Void?
It may or may not be.
I don't have time for this. If your name
Yes,
is
it
Void,
is.
then I'm gonna politely ask you to leave the lower deck and go back upstairs with your friends.
Okay, wait, whoa. Why just me?
Because of what you did to your friend.
What? What do you mean?
You think I don't know just because I wasn't there?
Is Sergat in there? Is he upset?
He scoffs for a moment and says, "Sure, Sergat's in here. Look, all I know is that your friends are a little upset with you right now. So just go back upstairs and have more time kissing girls."
Well, at least give me a chance to defend myself. Everything I've done today was for a reason. I wasn't trying to do anything to get on people's nerves or hurt their
I'm
feelings.
sure you had your reasons, but for once, think about someone other than yourself. And he's
That's all I've been doing. I'm gonna try to push past him with breaking close the door.
okay. So as you push past him, make a dexterity check or acrobatics check. Sorry.
6.
All right. So with that, you just barely make it in before he tries to stop you. What you see on the other side, it looks like one of the other studies. There seems to be papers all over the ground with books everywhere, and a desk. And he asks you, "What are you doing?"
Well, you said that my friend's feelings were hurt. I figured they'd be in here. I was gonna apologize.
"I told you to go upstairs."
Well, I'm sorry. I guess what? These are just books. What are you trying to hide, man?
"Just go, okay? I
Why
don't
did you
have time to
single me
explain to
out?
you."
I mean, we have a whole day out here. I think it's not. It's early morning. It shouldn't take that long, right?
All right. He's going to try to shove you out. Make a strength saving throw.
9.
All right. You seem to be slightly stronger than him. As he tries to push you out, you stay inside.
Listen, man, I'm not trying to cause any trouble, but I mean, you seem pretty suspicious for someone with a couple books. I'm gonna need to ask what's going on.
Is this your boat?
Is this your boat?
No, it's not. I'm another guest just like you.
Well, then I have just as much jurisdiction down here as you do, so why don't you tell me what's going on?
He looks over at you and looks down for a moment and sort of puts his hand on his face and says, "Listen, River came down here crying. I'm just trying to make sure that she's okay. She just wants a little bit of alone time, so please, for the rest of the boat ride, don't come down here, okay?"
Are you Magnus?
"Yes, I'm Magnus."
Okay, well, I'm gonna give River the alone time that she requested. If you see her again, let her know that there was a reason that happened. That if she wants to know that reason, she can come talk to me. But I don't want to bother her if she doesn't want to see me.
He says, she definitely doesn't want to see you right now. So please, I'm gonna ask you one last time, leave.
Okay, I'll go. But I'm also gonna ask you to deliver my message to her.
Sure, I will. And he closes the door behind you and locks it again.
All right. So I'm gonna go to grass.
All right, you head over there. He seems to be passing the ball around with a couple guys, minus Son, of course.
Hey, grass, come here. I got a question.
He looks over at you and says, "What's up?"
You seem to be like, in with this group and stuff. You got us onto the boat. You threw people off the boat. Is this your boat?
He looks over at you and says, "Oh no, this isn't my boat. I mean, I was just invited here by a couple of my friends."
Who are your friends?
Oh, the Lycantooths. And he points over to them, and also he points over to the cockpit where you can see Prince.
Yes. Well, okay. Thanks for getting us on, I guess. I was just trying to figure out who this boat was. I thought maybe it was yours. I don't know why. Well, I guess that will be all.
All right. And as you turn back, you see off in the distance a boat approaching you guys. It seems to be much larger than yours. A couple other people notice and ignore it and go back to their drinking.
All right. That's spooky. Do I notice anything distinct about the boat other than that it's just bigger than ours?
You see that it is lined with holes in the side.
Okay, those are cannons. Okay, this is gonna get crazy. Hopefully they're just t-shirt cannons. I'm going to go over to Sun and try to point the boat out to him.
All right. So you head over to Sun and you point out the boat, and he says, "Well, it probably is just another passerby. I mean, did you just now notice it?"
Yeah.
I mean, we can go talk to some people. And he heads over to Bilbo and Prince, and he tells them about the boat. And they both look over, and Prince says he recognizes the boat. It seems to be a Navy ship.
Are we in trouble?
They look around and says, "No, I mean, we're just out in open waters with someone's boat, so we're just having a party. It's private."
Okay, so there's nothing to be alarmed about?
We don't think so. And Prince looks over at you and says, "Why? I mean, do you think that they're looking for trouble or something?"
I mean, it's just a big boat, and normally I'd be able to, weasel my way out of any trouble that comes my way, but we are kind of in the middle of the ocean, or at least the big lake. I can't really. There's not much we can do here. So if we need to be prepared for something, we might want to start getting prepared for something.
Prince looks over at you and says, "Well, kid's got a point." And he starts getting a couple people together, and they bring out their wands.
Whoa, okay. Maybe we should be subtly prepared so that they don't think we're gonna attack them, immediately. I don't know, man. I just never been in a situation like this before.
All right. So as the boat slowly starts approaching you, it gets closer and closer and closer, and you realize the boat is about 2 times your size, and it is lined with cannons on the side, and has many crew members, almost looking like in uniform. And as it gets closer, you hear yelling from the other boat. It says, "Be prepared to dock."
All right, we're in trouble. Okay, let's figure some things out. We're gonna probably get in trouble, and I think a big part of that is because there seems to be a lot of, I don't know if the Navy's involved in this, but there's a lot of stolen books from the library downstairs, and I don't know what to do and stuff. Does anyone know how in 30 seconds they can teach me how to use a wand?
Son looks over at, or Prince looks over at you and says, "What do you mean? I mean, you don't have a wand, right?"
If I were to have a wand, how would I use it?
Well, that would take years of practice, and we look to have about 30 seconds. So, no, I don't think so.
So I can't learn anything in that time.
Nope, probably not.
All right. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna go. I guess I'll just stand here behind. No, in front as a defender of peace. I'll just stand directly where I'm standing and hope everything turns out okay.
All right. So, as you do, the boat gets closer to the point where both of you are going side to side and side by side, and they bring down a giant plank of wood, and it rests on your dock. And a couple of people run down real quick, and the thing gets lifted back up, and you see that these men are holding muskets and seem to have bows and such. And they all look over at you, and one of them asks, seeming to have a red and black uniform with white pants. He walks over. He seems to be an older man with a hat on, and he looks over at all of you and says, "Whose boat is this?"
Just gonna look around to see who answers.
No one raises their hand. And he looks around and says, "All right, looks like you guys are partying. Who called on the party?" And no one raises their hand. He looks down for a moment and says, "We can either play this the easy way or the hard way. We need some answers now. Are you pirates?"
No.
Do you say that?
Yes.
He looks down for a moment and says, "Who said that?" And Prince pushes you out into the middle and says, "He did." And the man walks over to you slowly and says, "Who might you be?"
I'm just one of the people on the boat. To answer some of your questions, no one knows whose boat this is. I've asked almost everyone here, and we were all just invited through someone else, like.
He says, "Very likely story." He says, "This boat belongs to a captain. He used to work at the wizardry school." And he looks around and says, "Looks like with all of your practice wands, you all go there. Is this correct?" And a couple of people nod their heads. And he says, "Well, this is a commandeered boat. You all seem to be its captors at this moment, but we're going to have to bring you into custody. Someone is to blame here, and I'm going to find out by the end of this trip." And a couple of the men go over to the steering wheel and start heading back towards shore. And they all try to head back over there. And he says, "We're going to need the names of everyone here." And they start marking down everyone's names. They eventually approach you and ask what your name is.
Okay, out of game, I'm thinking I either just give my regular name, or do I give Lucius? No, I'm just gonna say Void.
All right. So with that, they mark down your name, and they go towards everyone back, and eventually they go downstairs, and you hear some banging.
I'm going to see if I can, without really getting seen, see what's peeking my head down and see what's going on.
All right. So make a stealth check.
9.
All right. As you peek downstairs, someone sees you and says, "Go back upstairs." But as you look down there, you can see that all the rooms seem to be open except for that one that you couldn't get open.
Okay, I go back upstairs.
All right. Here's some more banging, and then it eventually goes silent. And at this point, you all are all at the shore, and they tell you all to go back to your homes.
Just think to myself, we're on a boat. Our homes aren't really close, but I guess I'll just follow the crowd, see what they're doing.
Okay, they all get off the boat and head towards all the places that they live. What do you do?
Oh, it's been docked, isn't it?
Yeah, it's docked.
Oh, right. I was thinking we're just in the middle of the lake still. All right. I guess I'm gonna see if I can catch any of the people that I know in the crowd.
All right. The people in the crowd that you see are that still around are Bilbo and seem to be Grass.
I'll go up to Grass.
Yeah, they're both talking to each other.
guys. Crazy party, right?
Graphs looks over at you and says, "Do you have any idea what's going on here?"
I mean, no more than what everyone else heard.
We're trying to trace back the original source, and it seems like someone's been putting up posters or flyers around the different wards. Seems like all three of them had them, and he brings up one of the papers, and it says boat party, and gives the date, and says invite your friends.
Is it handwritten or is it like?
It seems to be handwritten, yes.
Okay, well, this is handwriting. We could probably see who does that.
Both of them look down. The handwriting says, "This is nothing like I've ever seen before. Looks very good." And eventually, they say that we should meet up tonight to discuss what happened. We want to keep this on the very down low.
Sure. Before we meet up, though, does anyone have any connection to any of the teachers? Maybe they could get a hold of, like, some tests or something. We could match up the handwriting with that.
Not that we know of, but if you have any very close friends that might be able to help solve this, now would be the time to get them.
Okay.
Midnight tonight. Meet at my house, and Bilbo tells you where it is on your map.
Right. I'll be there.
All right. So, do you wish to go home?
Okay. I'm gonna... I don't really have much prep to do for tonight, since I don't really have many things to get. Like, it's just walking over there. I'm gonna try, even if that means going to her house, I'm gonna try to find River, see if we can clear some things up.
Okay. As you go over to the River's house, you knock on the door, and her parents answer, and they say, "What do you need?"
I need to talk to River.
Wasn't she on that little trip with you?
Yeah, but I think like she kind of got mad at me. I haven't seen her since, so I was coming over to apologize.
Well, she hasn't come home.
Oh. Okay, well, if you see her, let me know.
They say, well, I mean, we thought she was with you that entire time. That's what she told us. Is that not correct?
She was on the boat, yeah, but I mean, we all just left, so I don't know.
Okay, well, hopefully she'll come home soon. And
I don't doubt it.
do you wish to go somewhere else?
I'm gonna, yeah, I get. I'll see if, well, actually, I don't know where Serget is either. I guess I'll check Serget's house.
Okay. So eventually you knock on the door, and his parents answer and ask you the same thing.
So you guys don't know where Serget is?
Oh no, he came home a few minutes ago.
Oh, I'd like to speak to him, please.
All right. They go back, and eventually his father comes back out and says, he said he'd rather not speak to anyone right now.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna say that. There was a huge misunderstanding of the boat. I really need to talk to him.
He said it was very important that he wasn't bothered. He seems to be studying right now. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, what kind of house do they have?
They seem to
windows?
they seem to have windows. It seems to be a pretty poor looking house, but it's made out of stone and wood, so.
All right, so I could potentially just like try to knock on his window.
All right.
Serget's window.
So with that, give me a second. All right. So, there seems to be a window on the other side of the house. Do you wish to knock on it? It seems to be like too tall for you to reach.
Too tall? Well, I can climb stuff with my claws.
You can try, yeah.
I'll try to climb and look in before I do any knocking.
Okay. So, as you climb up, is there like a certain tabaxi skill that I should know about?
Well, it's just that his claws, in combat, he can climb like 20 feet or 30 feet or something.
Okay, so make an acrobatics check.
Okay. 19.
Okay. With that, you can climb pretty easily up there. You eventually look through the window and you see Sergat sitting at a table next to his bed, seemingly writing something down.
I'm going to lightly tap on his window.
Okay, as you do, he looks over and a flash of anger comes across his face. And he points out towards the window and continues studying.
I'm gonna like tap again and then like mouth the words like please.
All right, make a persuasion check.
17.
Okay. He eventually gives out a sigh and walks over towards the window, and he cracks one of it open and says, "I need you to leave."
Listen, Sergat, listen. It really went poorly. You even saw me. I was trying to get you to come up there. I was gonna lose on purpose so you could do it.
He looks over at you and says, "You kissed her. You said you were setting me up, but you kissed her."
I mean, okay, hold on. She kissed me first of all. I was going to pretend to pass out before we had the chance, but she didn't like it either. So we know that.
Oh sure.
That's not gonna get in the way.
With everyone I've heard,
really,
you guys were already dating before that even happened.
No one knows my name, dude. They don't know anything. Listen, they
Look, you haven't even hung us with us all year. Why should I even trust you? You're hanging out with the new kids, right?
Well, listen, I was trying to get you up there, and the only reason I tried so hard to win was because I didn't know how Sun felt about her, and I didn't want anything to happen.
Well, at least Sun wouldn't have kissed her.
Yes, he went up there voluntarily. I mean, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus here, but I'm just saying I did that for you. I had your best interests in mind. And listen, anything you hear from the other kids, they don't know who I am. I've tried and failed to be part of their group, okay? They don't know me.
Make a persuasion check.
15.
He looks down again at the floor, almost thinking in his thoughts. He says, "Listen, whatever did happen, I just need to think for a bit. Where's River? I want to talk to her."
I don't know. She won't talk to me.
Do you know where she is?
I went to her house to try to clear things up. She wasn't there. Her parents haven't seen her since the boat.
Well, you guys are back early. Weren't you guys supposed to be out for like a whole nother night?
Yeah, but we got brought back by a Navy ship. Apparently the boat was stolen.
What? Who stole the boat?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Oh, by the way, if you don't hate me anymore, we're getting a bunch of guys to try to figure that out together tonight. It's kind of a covert operation, so if you are, whether or not you do it, maybe don't spread that around, but you're welcome to come.
Listen, I just have some thinking to do. I don't think I can come. And
All right, I get it.
I don't want to say I'm mad at you. It's just, it feels at this moment that you set me up for disaster.
Dude, that was... I didn't want that to happen too, man. I'm really rooting for you guys, okay? But in the grand scheme of things, it's a minor setback. It might even help you. She's very not happy with me, okay?
Okay, I'm just gonna go talk to her tonight, okay?
All right. If you do find her, let me know. I really want to clear things up with her too.
Okay. Please leave. I have stuff to do.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Then I leave.
So with that, you go back out. Is there anything you want to do, or just wait for the night?
Sun wasn't in that group, was he? Talking about doing the...
No, that was just Bilbo and Grass.
All right, I'm gonna go to Sun. Try to get him involved.
Okay. So with that, you eventually go over to Sun's house and you give the door a knock, and his parents answer and they look very angry. And one of them asks, "What do you want?"
Hello. I was wondering if Sun was home.
One of them looks at you and says, "Were you on that boat with him?"
Yes.
And actually, sorry, did I say both of them? Okay, just the mom answers, and she was looking angry, and she asks you, "Were you on the boat with him?"
Yes.
She says, "Was there drinks there?"
I mean, sure, right? We were there multiple days. We had to stay alive.
So there wasn't any alcohol.
There was, but I didn't know that going into it.
She looks down for a moment and says, "Listen, Son has been getting into some bad things on that boat. We just know it. And he told us when he got here. He felt bad about it, but he's grounded, just so you know. He's going to be grounded for the rest of the break."
Oh. Okay, I'll respect that. Can I at least come in and talk to him for a second?
Just give it a moment. You may come in, go to his room. Just make sure you don't stay here too long.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Do you wish to go into his room?
Yes.
All right. As you enter his room, he still looks a little woozy here and there, and he looks over at you and says, "Oh, hey, Void. What are you doing?"
Well, I was gonna come see if you wanted to come do something with me, but I already
Yeah,
talked to your mom.
I'm grounded, man. I don't know if there's any way to get out of this one.
Sorry for, you know, doing that. You know, you wouldn't have even known about the party if I didn't say anything. So.
Oh, don't worry. I mean, to be honest, I think my mom's a little uptight, so it was my fault. So,
Okay. Well, what I was gonna say was that me and some guys are trying to figure out a mystery, you know, and
oh, a
but
mystery.
well, I mean, you're grounded, so
Whoa,
I
wait,
can't
wait.
really.
You didn't say anything about mystery. That's interesting. What is it about? The Navy?
Well, and I look around for his mom and I say, I told your mom that I'm gonna respect your grounding, but if you somehow on the way from the boat to your house found out that us guys are meeting at this house at midnight to try to figure out who stole the boat, I mean, I wouldn't have anything to do with that. So,
He says, "Well, I mean, I heard it from." Oh, and he gives you a wink, and he says, "Yeah, if I heard it on the way back, yeah."
right. But I mean, I didn't say this just now. I was just coming to say hi.
Oh yeah. Well, hi. If I were to hear from someone where to go, where would that be?
Here, and I point to where it is on the map.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, by the way, just so I can show you, let's go to the maps real quick. And it's
I
gonna be
actually have the map
Navia.
saved.
Frick, that's Raccoon. I don't want Raccoon. All right, there was Hide Guard. So, oh wait, this is. Yeah, this is the right one. The house that he pointed to is in the upper left corner, in technically the higher church area.
Left, so like is it by the border of where this like the big lake is?
Upper left. It's next to
Oh,
the
right,
walls.
right, right. I do know that my lefts and rights. Okay, next to the walls.
Mm-hmm.
So by the two rocks area, but more towards the left.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
got it.
So, with that, is there anything else you want to do with your time, or just wait?
Um. Maybe give one last look around town, see if I can spot River.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Or
Okay. So, as you look around, you cannot find River anywhere.
all right. I'm gonna go to the house.
Okay. So, he said to meet about midnight. Are you waiting till then?
Sure. But before we go to the house, could we take a break?
Yes, we can. All right, we'll be right back. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. We will be back in just a short moment. All right, bro. Cameron, why'd you mess up your camera?
Did I?
Why'd you have to mess up your camera and all that?
Yeah, dude,
Did
why
I
would you
really?
do that?
Yeah, you messed
Oh
up your
man.
camera. Now you're just tiny little Cameron.
No.
I'm gonna put
Oh,
you. I'm gonna
tiny.
put you in the corner over here, because I don't like you
Okay.
anymore. All right, you ready to play?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
No,
it's
I'm not gonna
camera
leave you in the
is
corner.
so
Don't worry.
small.
I won't leave you in the corner. Here.
If I'm in the corner, I can fulfill my dreams of being Markiplier. Hello, everybody, the Markiplier.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mark. And welcome back
Alright.
to Power
With the
Wash
name.
Simulator.
That's better. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
All right, do this.
you ready to? Oh yeah. Also, Davis is here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We caught him up a little bit on what's happening. So you're going to the house, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So with that, you eventually get to the house. It seems to be a normal looking house. It seems to be a little downtrodden, a little messy here and there. But do you wish to knock on the door?
Wait, why is he at this house real quick? Just by the way.
This is where we're gonna figure out who put the posters up
Okay.
because they're written in like handwriting. So we're gonna try to figure out who wrote it.
All right.
Nice.
So with that, you knock on the door, and eventually you hear a response. It opens up, and on the other side you see Kat, and she looks down
Oh.
for a moment and says, "Oh, what's up, little man?"
I'm going to real quickly like adjust myself, my presence, try to look nicer like really quickly, and then lean up against the doorpost and be like, "What's up?"
She says, "You're here for the meeting, right?
Yeah.
Quick, who'd you invite?"
Well, it depends who you ask. Who's asking really. If his parents are asking, nobody. But if anyone else is asking,
Parents.
it's son.
This isn't.
Son.
His
No, I
parents
didn't-
don't live
I
here.
No, son. I know, but I'm just saying he's supposed to be grounded, and so I invited him, but I technically didn't. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't even know if he'll be here though.
Well, technically, none of us are here right now, if you know what I mean.
Right. And
All right.
technically, like in the way we're technically not dating. Got it.
She looks
Wow,
confused for a
okay.
moment and says, "What do you mean?"
What do you mean?
She looks
That's your
back for a
question.
moment and says, "You really want Void in here?" And you hear a voice back down there,
I'm
and
the funny guy. Remember, I make jokes.
she looks over at you and says,
I'm not
"That's
funny.
a really funny joke," and she lets you in. And
Right.
eventually, what you see on the inside is pretty much no furniture anywhere, and a stairs leading down to the basement. And she says, "Follow me," and she
This
sends
isn't
down to the
sketchy at
basement.
all. What'd you say at the end?
She starts going down to the basement.
I'll follow her.
All right, and as you go down there, you see a giant table in the middle, and you see that Grass and Bilbo are sitting over there, along with Kat.
Bilbo.
All right. I am gonna sit down next to Kat, but not make it obvious that I intentionally sat down next.
Okay. Grass looks over at you and says, "So, hopefully you didn't invite too many people. We really don't want to let others people know that this is happening."
Yeah, no, I only invited one other person, and I don't even know if they're gonna show.
I see. Well,
But
either
I made
way.
it known that this is a secret meeting, so even if they're not here,
All right. So with that, you see that they're just waiting for the rest of the people. Do you wish to wait with them?
I'll strike up a conversation.
Okay. What do you talk about?
Well, first of all, so what's up with all the secretness? Like, I mean, everyone on the boat knows what happened.
Yeah, but someone on the vote obviously set this up. So we just want to make sure that we don't let them in on everything.
Right. We don't want that happening. I got it. So, I look over at Kat. How'd you find out about this? You weren't even there.
She said Bilbo invited me. He knows that I'm the smartest in the class, so I'll be able to figure this one out. Isn't that right,
Wait,
Bilbo? And she
so they're
nudges
just
him.
calling him Bilbo now.
I guess it stuck, yeah.
Yeah, everyone just calls him Bilbo now.
I'm more influential in this group than I thought I was, man.
Yeah, everyone thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, okay. I hope to never learn his real name. Okay.
Yeah, we need Frodo.
I'm gonna be like, Bilbo invited you. I see. Yes, it is very valuable. You're very valuable to this group effort. Depending on how this goes, you guys might find yourself an invitation to the Defenders of the Peace, but you're gonna have to show yourself worthy.
A couple of them look over and smile at you, and Grass looks over at the other two and says, "He's just kidding. Don't worry." And
I look at Grass and I'm like, no, I'm not.
make a persuasion or deception check.
Grass is a defender too. It's a 16.
So he looks over at you and says, "Seriously? You want us to like be a part of your group or whatever for us to trust you?"
And then now I'm really trying to use my acting chops that hopefully my bard parents taught me, and I'm going to well up with tears and say, "Grass, I thought you were a defender too."
He looks at you and he says, "This is the first time I've ever heard of this. What are you talking about?"
And then I'm gonna go, "Wow, you should have seen the look on your face, man. I totally got you, dude."
All right, everyone in the room kind of cringes for a moment, and Kat says she'll be back in a bit, and she says she's gonna use the restroom. So she heads back upstairs, and Bilbo looks over at you and says, "You're quite the charmer, right?"
Yeah, I mean, the ladies want me. Speaking of the ladies, Bilbo, you invited her? Is there anything going on between you guys?
What's up with you and always wanting to make stuff? She's just smart, okay?
Okay, I mean, I just wanted to make sure that there was no external forces influencing your decision.
What do you mean?
I mean, come on, man. It's Cat we're talking about. You're sure the brains was the only thing you were looking at when you invited her?
Wow.
He looks over at you and says, "Okay, you know what? Maybe I made a mistake here." And he gets up and says, "Maybe you should go."
Whoa. All I've done so far is compliment you guys. I'm calling her smart and pretty. And I'm just saying you might have noticed that. It doesn't matter. I made a misjudge. Come on, Bilbo. You know me. I'm not that kind of guy.
With that, Kat walks downstairs with seemingly Sun, and he says, "Let's get down to business." And Bilbo sort of sighs for a moment and says, "This is the person you tried to bring along with you?"
Is that a problem?
Well, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, let's just say that.
Right, but... Well, not right. I'm going to say,
But
well...
sometimes you need a dull tool to dig in the floor.
This is a really big mystery to all of us. I'm sure a different perspective could help out.
Make a persuasion check.
I liked my line better.
4.
Okay. So, with that, he says, "You know what? Maybe all this was a mistake. We should just leave this to the Navy." And Kat looks over at him and says, "What do you mean? This will be fun. I mean, it's not like anything serious happened." And he says, "Well, I guess you're right. I mean, we were just having fun." And he sits back down and says, "Everyone take a seat."
Right. I sit down next to Kat, not making it obvious that I specifically sit down.
Okay. So Sun also chose to sit next to you. So with that, he says, "Let's get this meeting started." So, we got to figure out who invited you guys.
I heard it from you.
You heard it from me, okay. Sun, and he says he heard it from you. Kat said she saw a poster up in Suropath, and you hear that Grass also saw the poster over in Lycantooth.
All right. So, did you guys see who put the posters up, or were they just there?
Well, at this point, Sun pulls out, or Grass pulls out a poster. It has a symbol of Lycantooth on it, and also says, "Everyone is invited to the party that is happening," and then it shows the place where the boat was docked, and what time to get there.
Do we have a Seropath poster as well?
He looks around and seems like Cat pulls out a Seropath poster as well.
And by chance, did anyone bring a Lycantooth poster? I don't know if that's going to help, but maybe there's differences. Maybe they have a preference.
Grass already put down the Lycantooth one.
Oh, I meant the Lily one.
All of them say that they haven't heard of a Lilythorn one.
So there just wasn't one at all?
We're not sure. I mean, none of us go there, but we haven't heard of one. And also, we didn't really see any Lilythorns around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the only Lilythorns that were there were invited by me, so I guess that might actually mean something.
Yeah, a couple look around and say, well, there was a rumor that another Lilythorn was coming. His name was Magnus. But I didn't see him around.
He was there. I talked to him.
Oh, where was he?
He was in the lower deck with all the books.
I see. Well, did you figure out what he was doing down there?
Well, he was just very secretive of what he was doing. I was only able to peek into where his little hidey hole for a little bit. But I mean, he just seemed to be looking at the books and stuff.
Interesting. Cat looks over at you and says, so, did you happen to snag any of these books or know anyone who might have done that?
If anyone was gonna take a book, it would have been any of the Lilythorns that were there, you know. Classic Lilythorn.
So did you invite any of them today?
No, I didn't, you know. Well, I invited one of them. He didn't seem like he was interested, and I couldn't even find the other one.
All right. So with that, eventually, you guys continue to talk about why there would be posters and what handwriting it could be. And Grass looks over at you and says, you had some sort of an idea earlier of maybe getting a teacher involved, seeing if it matches with any of the handwritings.
I mean, we don't specifically have to get a teacher involved, but we could get, like, if we had access to their stuff, we could get tests or worksheets or anything from as many of the kids as we could and compare the handwritings.
All right, so Kat tells you all that she's actually a teacher's assistant and she might be able to get her hands on some.
That would be useful. Off the top of your head, does this look like anyone's handwriting you've seen?
I grade so many papers, I wouldn't be able to tell.
I guess. All right. So is that all we have, or does anyone else have any ideas?
Sun looks over and says, well, I mean, the Navy should be handling this, right? So it doesn't really matter what we do.
I mean, yeah, but we might as well try to figure it out ourselves, right?
I guess. I mean, yeah. And then with that, you hear a knock on the door upstairs, and Kat says she's gonna go get it. And she walks upstairs. And you guys just wait for people to answer, and you hear the door open. Some talking ensues, and eventually the door closes again. And she walks back downstairs with what seems to be Sergat holding a couple books. And he looks annoyed at first, but he walks back down, sets the books on the table, and says, the only reason why I'm here is just because, well, I haven't seen River since we came off that boat, and her parents haven't seen her either. They're getting worried.
So, yeah, that is concerning. Were these books from the boat?
Yes, they are. There were just a couple that I decided to hang on to. The Navy didn't check me, so I was able to walk off scot-free. And he opens up some of the books, and he says most of them have to do with teaching at the wizardry school, actually. And he tells them that it's nothing like he's ever read before in the library.
Okay, so these are books that they definitely don't want in student hands.
He says, probably not. He opens some of them and says, actually, a lot of them have to do with time and how it relates to magic, and how the flow of time is actually a lot similar to the flow of energy around us.
I see. idea why they were on the boat in the first place, or who could have put them there?
Sun looks around for a moment and says, well, I mean, from what I've heard is, well, we only have access to level 1 of the library, and the upperclassmen, those two, have access to level 2. Do you guys recognize this? And Cat looks over and says, this is nothing like I've ever seen. And Sun says once more that because of that, it must be a 3rd level book. So whoever got it either snuck into the 3rd level or was a teacher.
Yeah, I have an idea about that, but just to confirm a suspicion from earlier, Sergat, did you see any posters for this party around Lilythorn?
He says no.
Interesting. So, I think our lead suspect should probably be this Magnus guy, because even when I was inviting my friends to the party, River had already said she was interested in going anyway because of Magnus and his books. So, seems like maybe he didn't want people knowing that he had the books or anything, and I don't know, man.
All right. All of them say that they don't know where Magnus lives, so they might have to wait till the start of the next year to even talk to him. So they agree that they should be the main lead. And also, Sergat says that he's mainly concerned about where River is, because has anyone seen her since the when she went downstairs? Because he didn't.
No, I didn't, but I did hear like some loud noises coming from the lower deck when the Navy got there. Maybe she's in jail.
Well, why would River be in jail?
I don't know, if she was caught with some of the books and they were stolen, she could have been considered a suspect.
I mean, I was down there too, and they just let me walk. So it must have been something different.
Was Magnus down there when you were down there?
Yeah, I mean, me and Magnus left pretty much at the same time. He snuck into the crowd, so he wasn't really noticed much, but I saw the officer take down his name.
See. Well, this just got a lot more
Sergat doesn't say that. Bilbo says that.
Okay. So Sergat wasn't down there when it happened?
No, Sergat was not down there. Bilbo says that.
Right. Okay.
Sergat left the day earlier.
Right. Okay. So this obviously is a lot more, a lot bigger of a deal than we thought. Someone's actually missing because of this. But I don't really know where to start. I mean, other than talking to Magnus, but that won't happen until school starts back up again.
They say, well, it's only going to take about a week, so we might as well we'll just wait. See if River shows back up again.
I guess, but, I mean, she could be in danger, What if she doesn't have a week?
Sergat says, you're right. We should look around for River. So how about the rest of the week we look around asking different friends if they've seen River?
We can, but also, I mean, I doubt this would be connected, but Sun and Sergat, do you think this could have anything to do with the thing we checked out last break? And I'm trying not to let the others know that weren't there about, I'm specifically referring to 2 rocks, but I don't want the other people to know that I was there.
Okay. Sun looks over and says, maybe. I mean, who knows at this point? And Cat looks over at you, kind of confused, and says, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
I mean, we were just exploring a few break ago, or a few breaks ago, and I don't know if that had anything to do with that. Maybe she could have tried to go back to some of those places.
All right, so with that, a couple people argue once more about what to do, and the main consensus from everyone else is keep an eye on lookout for River, ask around some friends if they've seen her. Also, Sergat's going to continue studying in the books to see if that has to do anything with anything, and they're going to just wait till the time to go back to school to go try to find Magnus.
All right, but before we settle on that, I don't even know if this is possible, but do you think it would be helpful to try to sneak into the library to see, like, if we can get more information on the situation before school starts? Maybe, like, people won't be as alert for students trying to get up there.
Cat looks over at you and says, well, the groundskeeper will still be there on high alert. If there's any good time to do it, it would be during school hours, probably at night. So does anyone know, like, any way to do that? And Sergat looks over and says, well, actually, I think Magnus and River were talking about maybe sneaking onto the 3rd level, and they said they had some sort of plan to do it. They never really let me know, though.
Oh yeah, River was talking to me about that too. I mean, maybe I don't know. They could have tried to do it. I don't know, man. But if they had a plan, it'd be nice if we knew it.
Yeah, but we don't have access to either of them right now, says Sergat.
Yeah, and it's not like we can just go up to Magnus and ask him about it, considering he's a suspect. So, I don't know.
All right, well, Kat says once school starts up again, I'm going to start cross-referencing this poster, okay?
Right. And we'll see what we can do as well.
Okay. Everyone sort of says just chill out for now. Just ask around if you can. Just mainly keep to yourself, because we don't want to put anyone on high alert.
Right.
So, with that, people start filing out. Is there anything else you want to do at the very end, or no?
Nah, I think I'll just skedaddle.
All right.
Maybe make sure that me and Sun don't leave at the same time, so if he does get caught, I'm not connected to it.
Yeah, true. All right, so with that, you eventually go back home, and your parents are there waiting, and they ask you, where have you been?
You know, just taking advantage of break while it's here.
It's boring.
Make a persuasion check.
Hey, not one.
Oof. They look over at you and say, seriously, where have you been specifically?
At someone's house. You're just chatting.
Well, Son's mom told us that they were drinking on the boat. Is this true?
Yeah.
Did you participate?
I mean, maybe.
They look down at you and said, we're very disappointed, and we agree with Son's mom. You should be punished. And they say, all right, for the rest of the break, you are not to leave this house.
Can I at least make a case for myself?
Why
was a reason.
Why did you do it?
Okay. Basically, first of all, I didn't know it was going to happen. Second of all, it was a sacrifice that had to be made for the sake of a friend, right? So they were doing this game, and they would put 2 people against each other, and then whoever won had to kiss a girl that they picked, right? So basically...
So you did this to kiss a girl?
I did this so that someone else wouldn't, because the girl is someone that I know one of my friends likes, and I didn't want the other guy to try to like spark feelings in her, so I was gonna intentionally kiss her really bad, and it worked. But so it was a sacrifice for my friend that I did not do voluntarily.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
This better work. That would be the best thing ever. It's a nat 1.
2 nat ones.
Yeah.
Your mom looks down at you and says, that is no excuse. You're grounded for the rest of this break, and maybe even more after that if you don't shape up.
Okay, sorry.
All right, go to your room.
Okay. I'm going to my room. I'm not laughing in game. It just sounded funny. I go to my room.
All right, so you were basically trapped there for the rest of the break. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Do I have my school books with me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do.
All right. I'm going to, in a sad montage, read my school books and stare out the window on rainy nights.
All right, so you catch up a little bit on all of your stuff. I'm just going to add a little bit to each one. So, again, transmutation was the one that you're doing very well at, right? So that keeps up. Abjuration was the one you were doing pretty poorly at. So I'm going to just say that that is just moderate at this point. And conjuration, since you're excelling in that, you're just keeping that up.
Cool.
So, with that, it's eventually about time to go back to school, and your parents tell you that they're still very angry at you, and when you come back for break, you'll still be grounded.
Well, okay. Okay. Well, it was nice spending the break with you at least.
So with that, would you like to head back to school?
Sure thing.
All right, so you head back to school, and everything seems to be pretty normal, and eventually Sun asks you when he sees you is, where have you been?
I mean, grounded.
So you too?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just sneak out? I mean, I've been doing it.
Yeah, I didn't want to push my luck. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't as good as I usually was at convincing them. I didn't want to try to do anything else.
All right, well, either way, you're at school now. So everyone's been keeping a pretty low profile. We haven't seen River at all, actually.
Yeah, just worried about that. Have you checked in with the other guys from the group? Have they made any progress? You know?
He said he has checked in with everyone, and no one has seen River since that one day where the trial went on for you and Sun. Everyone says they saw River walk downstairs and they didn't see her come back up.
Okay. I mean, I guess she could still be on the boat, but it has been a while. Do you know how we could find Magnus?
He says that we're gonna have to find him during school hours, maybe passing in the hallway.
Yeah. Well, it's those hours, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you wish to go to school?
Sure thing.
Okay. So, you go to school. So, what are the main things that you're focusing on for the rest of the school year?
The school year. Okay.
So, give me your effort.
Okay, so same thing as last time, except so that's like 20% for all the classes, I think, leaving 40% for other activities. I might put that 40% into being with that group trying to figure out this whole thing.
Okay. So, mainly figuring out the mysteries is like 40% of what you're doing?
Yeah, and then the rest is evenly distributed between the classes.
Okay, sounds good. So, roll an investigation check for transmutation.
11.
Okay, you seem to be doing very well in transmutation. You're keeping it up. You're
It's actually 12. I don't know if that influences.
not very much, but you're staying pretty good at transmutation. Abjuration is just normal for you. Roll for that. Investigation.
Nat 20.
Okay, you actually catch back up. You're just as good as transmutation as abjuration at this point.
Wow.
You have stopped killing the rats. You actually are helping them now at this point. So
I was like excelling at transmutation. Are you sure I'm at the same place?
no, the top is conjuration. So conjuration is still at the top for you. Roll for an investigation with conjuration.
3.
Okay, so eventually, since you're not doing as well in conjuration, it goes back down a little bit to where transmutation, abjuration, and conjuration are pretty much even for you, and that you're doing very well in all three.
Hey, that's good.
All right, so eventually, with that, what are you doing with the mysteries?
You know, checking in with the group, looking out. I mean, there's not much looking out you can do for River. She's just not there. Trying to find Magnus, and maybe looking into ways we could get access to the library.
Okay, so the group every once in a while tries to meet up at the dining hall for lunch and dinner. Just tell everyone what happened. So, in general, what has happened during the beginning of school is Magnus and River are nowhere to be found. And Kat's been still trying to scan whose handwriting fits. She hasn't found anyone yet. And Sergat is learning more and more from these books about this certain magic flow of time. And with that, Grass and Sun are asking around the Kick the Goblin fields to see if anyone knows anything from there. Kat does tell you that she wasn't going to tell you earlier, but since it's getting a little bit more serious, that what Seropath does during the nights is they sneak out and go to certain secret locations. She can't tell you what they are, but she's going to look around there for any hints.
Can I try to convince her to tell me where they are?
Make a persuasion check.
18.
All right, so she tells you that while she wants to for you to help, but it's been tradition since the beginning of Seropath that that only certain select people can know about the secret locations hidden around campus. She says that once you become older and maybe not a lower classman anymore, that she'll be able to help you.
Cool. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I just need to check something.
Okie dokie. Artichoke.
All right. So with that, it is about time for the finals.
These are so scary.
Yeah. So tell me, in what order do you choose?
All right.
And it's gonna be harder. The DC is gonna be harder for the last one you choose.
Last one.
Yeah.
And they're all about the same, you said?
Yep, all about the same. You seem to be doing very good in all of them.
Okay, so let's just go with transmutation first.
All right.
Since that's the one I personally like the most.
5 or above, you're gonna pass.
It's a 19.
Okay, you pass transmutation. All right, which one next?
Conjuration.
Conjuration. Cool. That's gonna be 5 or above. You pass.
16.
Okay, cool. Abjuration's gonna be a little harder. It's gonna be 8 or above. You pass.
8 or above. Come on. Oh, 10. Okay.
Oh, wow. Cool. All right, so with that, you pass all your classes this year.
Exams.
Yeah, seriously.
And with that, eventually, while heading out of Abjuration class after your final, feeling pretty good, you notice a familiar face. It seems to be Magnus walking down the hallway.
All right, I'm gonna chase him down. I mean, not like sprinting, but like, hey, man.
All right, so as you sort of run up to him, he looks over at you and says, "What do you want, Void?"
Hey, Magnus, buddy, old pal, old friend. I was just wondering, what you been up to?
I've just been studying like the rest of you. Now I have to go to my finals.
Oh, good luck on those. Question though, before you do, have you seen River at all?
He pauses for a moment and thinks, and he says, "No, I don't believe I have. Sorry." And he starts walking away.
And I'm gonna walk in front of him and be like, "Are you sure?"
Listen, whatever you're implying, I don't understand.
Can I see if he's lying?
Make an insight.
10.
Seems like he's definitely trying to get away from you.
All right. So I'm done with my final, right?
Yeah, you're done with your finals.
I am going to be like, all right, man. Well, good luck on your finals. Hope to see you next year. And then I'm going to try to follow him without him noticing the rest of the day.
All right, make a stealth check.
This is where I shine. 10.
Okay, give me a second.
I get a +3 on these because of my perception and my stat. I mean not perception. Proficiency.
So you said 10 total?
Yes.
All right, let's see if he notices you.
No, he's busy studying, man.
All right, so you follow him. He seems to be going to transmutation.
All right. And he does a thingy.
All right.
I'm
He
just
doesn't
gonna
seem
follow
to
him
see you.
until he's done with his stuff, and then talk to him after, so he doesn't have an excuse.
Okay. So after he's done with his transmutation final, he is heading out, and he seems to be heading towards the library.
So, like, not another final.
No, it seems to be going towards the library.
Okay, let's keep following him.
All right. So as he goes towards the library, you follow him until he starts going down the steps towards the second level where you're not permitted.
Okay. Well, is it possible for me to try to slip through?
You can try, but it is strictly forbidden for lower classmen to go down there.
I mean, I would recommend to try to find the gang and say, "Yeah, guys,
I
Magnus
just
is
don't want to
second
lose
level."
him. I just don't want to lose him. So there's no like magic trickery that I can use to like make an iPhone appear or anything.
You don't know
iPhone.
any spells. What you're learning about in
Alright.
this first couple of years is like how the flow of energy is formed.
Okay. I'm going to very, very quickly try to find one of the upperclassmen
Okay.
that are in my group.
Where do you look for them? There's the hospital ward. There are the different classrooms. There is the library. There's the dining hall. There's the
Well, I was
wards.
just in the library, so
Okay.
if I didn't see them there, then they're either in the second thing or just not there. Let's go. Is there any of them that I can check on my way to another one? Like, terms
Since
of
you're in the
layout?
library, the one that would be on the way, where are you going from? The library to
It was-
where?
I just didn't know if like I could go to the dining hall, but on the way check the classrooms or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know how the layout of the school is.
On the way to the dining hall from the library, there is conjuration.
Right. So on my way to the dining hall, I want to peek my head in conjuration.
Okay. So inside conjuration, you see in the room is the conjuration teacher along with Kat.
All right. Is she taking a test or is she doing teacher,
No,
teacher assistant stuff?
She's doing teacher's assistant stuff, it seems.
All right. I'm gonna knock on the door and walk in.
Okay. Eventually, the teacher looks over at you, and the man looks over and says, "Oh, hello, Void. So are you coming back to congratulate me on how well you did on the other tests today?"
Actually, I mean, I did do pretty great, but I was gonna talk to Kat actually.
Oh, I see. Well, go ahead, Kat. Take a break. And she starts heading over towards the door and leaves. She looks over at you and says, "What's up?"
Saw Magnus going into the second library.
"Oh, Magnus is back?"
I guess. I mean, I can't follow him, obviously. So you might want to go over see what he's up to.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna go grab someone else to help me. I'll be right back. Just go to the dining hall tonight. I'll talk to you then, okay?
So then I will do that.
All right. So with that, you eventually go back to your ward and eventually go to dinner. Do you wish to join the group?
Yes.
Okay. So with that, you go over there, and it seems to be the normal group of Grass and Cat and Bilbo and Sun and Sergat.
Bilbo's best character.
All right. So I'm gonna ask Kat if she saw him.
She said that she went back down to the second library, and there was something very, very interesting that she saw down there. As she went down there, she saw Magnus was studying in one of the rooms near the lower level, and she said that he was reading a book that she didn't recognize before. It seems to be a book that she assumes that he stole from the boat. And he seemed to have left to use the restroom, and he left the book there. And she flipped through the pages very quickly and started copying down what was inside. And she pulls out a parchment paper and said, "This is what I got."
All right. What does it say? I'm gonna read it.
It seems to be different hand gestures and motions to use to try to manipulate the energy around you using a wand or some sort of spellcasting focus. It seems to be almost a recipe for a spell.
Can I tell what the spell does?
She says that she's never seen this type before, and that she has no idea what it would do. She just knows that Magnus was studying it, and Magnus came back later and grabbed the book, and with that he left.
Okay. Left to go where?
She's not sure. Magnus Cat lost Magnus on the way there.
All right. You had one job. No, I'm not. I didn't say that. So first, let's see what the group thinks. You know.
Okay. Sun definitely thinks. She says his opinion is that we should study this the spell, whatever it is, and for the upperclassmen, if they can, to learn it, and to see if that gives any hint to where River might be. And Grass says that he agrees with Sun, and Surgat says that we're running out of time to try to find River. We need to start getting desperate. We need to try to find Magnus and try to figure out what he knows.
Yeah, I probably should have just stopped him when I saw him. But no, actually, this is good information. How long do you think it will take before you guys get even an idea of what this spell's supposed to do?
So Kat looks down and says, well, since I'm a 5th year, me and Bilbo can try studying it since we have different studies. I mean, obviously, since she's already told you this, but her major is Kat's major is conjuration. Meanwhile, Bilbo's major is abjuration. So they have a wide variety of what they can do. She says that in order to study this, it might take all summer.
All summer. Well.
And that's if they do nothing but study it.
I see.
Unlucky.
Are you guys willing to do that?
She says, yeah, I mean, we want to help River any way we can.
Right. Is there anything we could do? Like, in the meantime?
To be honest, you, Sun, and Surgat, what you should be doing is probably just making sure you keep up on your studies. We don't want you failing any of the classes. And also, try to have a lookout for any suspicious characters. I only have a couple more days being a teacher's assistant, and I've narrowed the subject down a lot. So in these next couple days, I might be able to figure out whose handwriting this is.
Would you like some assistance with that narrowing down?
I might be able to sneak you into the classroom sometimes, but other times the teacher's there. So later tonight, how about you and me try figuring out whose handwriting this is?
Right. Sure.
All right, and Surgat looks over and says, well, I want to help too. I want to be able to be there for River. And she says, yeah, sure, both of you can.
Hey, after what I did for my boy. Okay, no, I didn't say that. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Also, I'm not trying to overcomplicate things. Before I say this, I want to make sure everyone in this group, can I trust you guys?
Everyone says yes. Bilbo asks why.
I'm like, because, and then I pull out my wand. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this, but I accidentally got this on my first year. Could I help in any way?
Bilbo and Kat look wide-eyed and like quickly shove it back down to where you had it, and they say, do you realize what this means?
I have a wand.
Yes, but that's not just it. They both bring out their wands and put it on the table. There are always underclassmen who try to find ways to steal the upperclassmen's wand, but that's the thing. It's heavily guarded. For these practice ones, the one that we get, we're only allowed to cast spells that we learn of. Even if we learned this spell, and she pulls up the parchment paper, it wouldn't allow us to cast it at all. And she looks over and says, even if you took our practice wands, you wouldn't be able to cast anything, because there are bounded to each of us to make sure that we don't give them out as as things for the lower classmen. She says the practice wands are only useful within the school bounds, and there are only a certain amount of spells that we can use for them. And she says what you have there is an outside one. They're strictly illegal in here, and with that you can cast any spell that you know by heart.
So what you're saying is I am useful with this.
Yes, if you allow us to research this spell and be able to completely learn about it, we might be able to even cast it using that wand.
I mean, sure, but I think I want to be there for that.
Yes, I mean, you can be there. It's just with your level of knowledge, you won't be able to cast anything.
Wow.
You, not trying to overcomplicate things, but don't you think I could learn with you guys?
You'd be able to learn, but your level of knowledge of how to flow energy properly, it would never work. You would have to at least you do years of studying, and that's if you put all of your effort into it. There's never been a lower classman that has been able to cast the spell on their own.
It wouldn't hurt to try, right?
I mean, you can if you want. And Bilbo looks over at you and says, listen, that would take a lot of studying, even more than what me and Kat did.
Right, but I mean, you always hear these stories of like people who try something they're not supposed to be equipped for yet, and them just having like a natural sense to it. I mean, I have this wand, I guess, so maybe I could. And I mean, worst case scenario, I don't, and I can just get a little bit ahead by watching you guys learn about it.
They say sure. I mean, if over the summer you want to come with me and Bilbo, we could do that. And meanwhile, Sergat and Sun can chase any loose ends.
I look at Sergat and Sun, like, does that sound like a deal, guys?
Sun says yeah, and Sergat looks down for a moment and says, well, I've been thinking, in order to learn more, do you know... And he looks over at you and says, can I tell them about what we were doing? Before she went missing.
Well, is he talking about Two Rocks, right?
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I guess I already showed them the wand, so we're not keeping any secrets now. Sure.
He looks over at all of you and says, well, I've been getting a hunch. Listen, me and her did a lot of studying that summer and how to figure it out. We didn't even get close, but she did even more studying than me. And the more she got close to it, the more she strayed away from the actual answer. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that there might be more people in on this. I mean, she might have learned a little bit too much about it. Who knows?
Hello?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Oh, I think the music switched and it like went blank and I thought everything stopped. So real quick, you say that you said there's more people in on it and stuff?
Yeah, there might be more people in on it. Like, she might have gotten too close to some information that she wasn't supposed to learn.
Right. I mean, that seems like a good lead to chase. Do you have any idea even where to start though?
No, but what I'm saying is we really don't know who we should be trusting.
Right, but I feel like this group is enough, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Just be careful on who you trust, okay?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
All right. And with that, you hear someone behind you, Void.
Yeah, I'll look.
All right. As you turn around, it seems to be Caleb smiling at you. And he says, hey, long time no see. Didn't think to visit me on your second year?
Right. Now he's immediately out of game. That's the most suspicious thing. He just said hi, and of the timing of this is really suspicious, but I'm not going to do anything about it yet. Oh, hey, Caleb. Yeah, do I call him Caleb or do I call him, like, Professor or something?
Oh, no, he's fine with you calling him Caleb.
Hey, Caleb. Yeah, I mean, it was a tough switch from first year to second year. I didn't really do much socializing in general.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you and Son if you wanted to come over to the first years. I wanted to talk to you.
I mean, sure.
Oh, don't worry, it won't take long. Just follow me.
Okay, I guess this is what I'm doing before, and to pass the time so I can go have my little study date thing. Not really study, not really date, just the thing with Kat. But
Okay. So, he leads you over to his office, and he sits you both down and says,
And
so,
Sergey.
you guys were pretty busy over break, I hear.
Yeah, it's actually the exact opposite of busy, but, you know.
Well, I mean, with the boat and all.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I think for being part of Clan Big Lake, I think that was actually the first time I was on it.
That's funny. So, the Navy they've been talking to us here, all the teachers, that is. They've been asking some questions about some of our students, and I thought I might as well just get your side of the story before any accusations are thrown around, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So, tell me exactly why you on that boat, and what'd you do?
Okay. Well, saw the poster. Thought it would have been fun. So I invited some friends and we went on the
What
boat.
poster are you talking about?
Same one everyone's been seeing, you know? Um, it's just like boat party, be here, you know? Uh, and so I went. There was a boat party. We partied on the boat, and then the Navy came and shut everything down.
So, I mean, you just partied, nothing else?
I mean,
Son
was just
looks over at him and says, yeah, of course. I mean, I was with him pretty much the entire time. We were on the upper deck.
yeah, and I got to practice my skills. I turned 2 silver into 6 gold. It was awesome.
Oh, did you learn how to play wizardry then?
Yeah.
I see. Well, your friend, River, I haven't seen her in a while. A couple of the teachers are getting a little worried. She hasn't turned up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen her either, but that's probably because I made her mad on the trip.
Well, let's just keep an eye out for her, okay?
Sure, but I mean, even if I see her, I don't know how much talking she's gonna want to do.
Yeah. Interesting. So, anything else I should know about this little trip you guys had?
No, I mean, it was just pretty much a party, you know. You had a boat, you had a lake. You
Make a
put 'em
deception
together.
check.
13.
Okay. So, with that, he says, listen, I trust you guys. I mean, you guys were great as first years. Maybe we should talk a little bit more, these next couple years, okay?
I mean, sure. I don't know if I'll have time for it, but I'll keep that in mind.
Oh, you'll always have time for me, right?
That's not ominous sounding.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try to make time.
Caleb made the posters.
All right. So, with that,
Ask for his autograph.
Oh, you're right. Before I go, you know, just doing the classic end of the school year thing, been getting autographs from all my friends and teachers and stuff. You mind?
he looks over at you and says, "Oh, I would, but actually, my hand's a little." And he brings it up, and what you can see now, he's been hiding it in his jacket, but you see his hand seems to be broken.
Okay. I mean, is it like unusable entirely, or you think you could just scribble a little bit?
I guess I could scribble a little bit if you want. I mean, sure. And he asks you for a parchment paper.
I hand him one.
All right. And he like tries to stick a pencil in his hand. He could barely hold it.
Grasp it in your hand.
And you can barely see on the paper him writing out his name, Caleb Kevin.
Hey. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Anyways, I got another meeting to go to. How about you guys head out, okay?
Sure thing, Mr. Kevin. And then I leave.
All right. As you leave, you see a hooded figure walking down the hallway and go into Caleb's study and closing the door behind him.
Hey, I'm pressing my ear up against that door, my mans.
Son looks over at you and says, "Look, we don't know Caleb's in on any of this. I mean, he seems like a nice guy. I mean, do you remember he really stuck his neck out for us first year?"
True, but I mean, we don't know that he's not. We haven't seen him for a whole year, you know?
I guess. It's just I don't want to get caught. Let's not do this early. Plus, we gotta go with Kat, right?
True. This isn't gonna take long. I just want to listen to the first few seconds, see if anything's suspicious, and I mean, son, you're not even gonna be there. You could stay here if it turns out to be anything, and if not, we just leave. And we already have alibis. We're already troublemakers. We just say we were trying to listen to other kids' grades or something.
Okay. Here, let me listen too. And he puts his ear up against the door. Make a perception check.
All right. 10.
10. Actually, do that with advantage since Sun will fill in the blanks for you.
15.
Okay, so what you can hear from the other side is mainly the same thing that you heard before with your conversation of, hey, it's been a long time. He says, it's been a long time since the first year, and he says he's really glad that you've been able to catch up with him after all this time. And Caleb says that there's been an incident with some of the students, and he's trying to get everyone's side of the story with it. He says, would you happen to know anything about some posters being around? And you can't really hear the response, but Caleb says, oh, you didn't hear anything about it? Okay, that's great. Anyways, how have you been this year? And it's been mainly down talk ever since that, so nothing of importance after that.
Just we don't hear who it is.
You don't recognize the voice.
I don't recognize it, or I don't hear it.
It's muffled, and you can't really recognize it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna look at Sun and be like, okay, I gotta go do that thing with Cat. Maybe you should hang back and see if you can catch a glimpse of who it is.
Okay, sure. I'll just hang out with some of the first years, okay?
Yeah,
All right. So, do you wish to go to Cat?
of course I do.
All right. As you go over there, you eventually get to the transmutation room, and you see on the inside is Sergat and Kat grading some papers.
Hey guys, I'm gonna sit next to Cat, but not in an obvious way.
Of course. Sergat looks over at you and says, what took you so long? What were you doing?
Caleb was having a meeting with us. He's just checking in on us.
Okay.
No.
Anything we should know about?
He's asking around for any information about the boat party. We didn't tell him anything, me and Sun that is, but someone else in a hood went in after us, so we tried to stay back a little bit, see who it was. We couldn't hear any familiar voices, but Sun's still waiting around there to see if he can see who it is when they leave. I didn't think that anyone here would really be interested, like, caring about what happened on the boat, but it looks like they're interviewing all the kids.
They look over at you and say, that's very interesting. And Kat hands you some papers and says, do some cross-referencing, and she hands you the poster as well.
Right. I also got this, and I bring out the paper with his name on it. I mean, you can't be too careful, right?
Kat looks over and says, what does it even say? It looks like scribbles.
I think it says, and I quote, Kelb Kerb.
Who signed this?
It was Caleb. His hand was
Oh.
broken.
Oh, I see. Oh, wait. His hand was broken?
Yeah. I mean, he tried to hide it the whole time, but when I asked for the signature, he fumbled with a pen until enough ink came on to pretend to be his name.
Interesting.
So,
Did he tell you how it broke?
I probably should have asked, but no, he didn't.
Huh. Well, all right. Well, let's just keep grading these papers. All right, make an investigation check.
Oh, I don't want to fail these kids. Oh wait, this is to see if I recognize.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're not actually
I'm an
grading
idiot.
them. Cat's the only one grading them.
17.
Okay, well, actually, with that, give me a second here. This is for Cat and oh, okay.
I'm
So
assuming that Cameron's also cross-referencing Caleb's real quick. I mean, I'm assuming he's
yeah,
not gonna get much from it.
you don't recognize it fits at all. So
Yeah, but that doesn't really mean anything. He could have wrote it before he broke it.
So you go off of a bunch of people's names. You can't find anything, and neither can Cat or Sergat. And eventually, Sergat says he's gonna head out and go to bed because this is
Right,
not like
I'm
very
headed.
fruitful. So he says you guys can keep doing if you want.
Yeah, man. I don't really. I gotta keep searching. Gotta keep exploring.
No ulterior motives here.
All right. So with that, eventually, Sergat leaves, and it's just you and Cat in the room. Do you wish to just keep grading papers?
Don't do anything stupid.
Cat. I'm just gonna grade some papers. Maybe make some idle chit chat.
Okay. Make another investigation check.
5.
Oof. All right.
Wow.
Let's see here.
I close my eyes while I look at the handwriting. None of it looks like it could match.
All right. So, you guys start talking,
They'll
and
put
Kat
tape.
asks you, so, how close are you with Caleb?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, this year not at all. Last year I'd say maybe we had like more of a like I don't know. I would say maybe closer than most students, but really not that close in the grand scheme.
Well, I mean, good for you. I remember when I was here, there used to be some other teachers that taught first year. I believe it's now, what is it, Arya that teaches the girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had never really met her, but I was pretty close with my other teacher before.
Yeah, we had Arya for a little bit when Caleb had to go on a little leave of absence or whatever it's called, since because of the fight that I was in at the start, and he was blamed for it.
Seems like Caleb and the uppers don't really have a great relationship then.
I mean, he came back. He wasn't even thinking about coming back, so obviously something happened. I mean, something changed to where he changed his mind, but
Yeah,
I mean,
interesting. Wait a minute. And she pulls out the poster, and she starts cross-referencing again. Do you recognize this? And as you look down, the A's look a lot similar to the ones in the poster. And as you keep looking and looking, you see a lot of the letters start kind of forming together, and they look very similar to the poster.
who could this be? Check the name.
All right. As you flip through the papers, she brings out a couple from the same student, and they all look to be the same. They all cross-reference and matches, almost 100%. And as she pulls out the name, she looks confused for a moment and hands the paper to you.
It's Lucius, isn't it?
On the paper, you see it is Lucius.
I knew it.
Mother.
This
And
kid.
as you do, Sun storms into the room and says, the guy Cable was talking to, he left. I followed him, and he was going to Suropath. He took out his hood. It looked a lot like Lucius.
You might want to take a look at this, and then I show him the letters and stuff.
Oh.
You might want to take a look at this, please.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And he looks at the letters and says,
think of this almost immediately. This is so Lucius.
he looks over and says, maybe this is a way of getting back to you or something.
I mean, maybe. You'd way to hold a grudge if it is. I mean, it
Yeah,
was like so long ago.
Kat shakes her head and says, yeah, I don't think it's that. This has got to go deeper. I mean, that wouldn't explain the boat, or why there was so many stolen books there, or even whose the boat was. And with that, the door slowly starts opening, and you hear a creaking noise. And you hear an older voice, almost like a woman's, coming from the other side and says, so, Kat, are you greeting papers with your friends? And she looks over and says, who is it? And out of the shadows steps out, seems to be Felicity Shadowhorn, the head of the school. And she says, I must talk to all of you. Quickly. Go to my office.
All right.
I cut when anyone gets in trouble. It's always you three.
Seriously.
So with that, I think we should end it here.
No. Oh man. Come on.
Man, that was interesting, man. I loved it.
I smell potatoes.
We always have to end it at the good part. Oh man. I mean, I know that's how cliffhangers work, but all right.
So, what'd you guys think of the session?
It was a lot of stuff happened, man. We gotta figure some stuff out. Gotta do the
Classic
thing.
void being void. There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah. Your friends kind of cringed at you a couple times.
Hey,
That's par for the
it's
course.
not a real void session if that doesn't happen. Let's be
True,
honest.
true. All right. Well, is there anything you guys want to talk to the audience about before we head out?
I don't know, man. Watch the next one.
Yeah, keep going, man. This is getting interesting. We got a little mystery on our hands.
let's get
Yeah,
Riley.
what the
Let's get
quiz.
Riley to Twitch partnership so he doesn't have to work in real life, so he can
Yeah.
do these more often.
Yeah,
So
this could
that-
be my actual job
Yeah.
instead
Dude,
of.
the second, if I can ever, I'm giving you my Twitch Prime, dude.
Cool. Love it. Anyways, thanks guys for being here today, and to the audience as well. Stay tuned for the next time, and we will see you later. Peace.